And what associations don't realize is that by having all of these things that they think are juicy and interesting in transcripts, they set themselves up for liability and to be sued.
Hello, and thanks for joining us on this HOAleader.com video chat with two of our experts. My name is Gabriella Falisco, and today I'm joined by Robin Strom of Ohio and Josh Crute of Florida. And this month we're talking meeting minutes, which seem to be a surprising bone of contention at many condos and HOAs. We're addressing this because two HOAleader.com readers recently sent in war stories about problems with meeting minutes. One was a consultant hired by the board to handle financials. She was thanked by the board that hired her for turning around the building's financials. And later she found out that the condo meetings minutes included a statement from the new treasurer blasting the consultant, talking about how the consultant didn't make certain recommendations, other inaccuracies, none of which was true. So the consultant and the former board asked that the minutes be corrected, but the new board is refusing. And then that prompted another of our readers to write in and saying they're seeing the victim of inflammatory, defaming comments in minutes, and then incorrect information that should be only in executive session. And they're not sure what to do about fixing the minutes. So in this video, these two expert HOA lawyers will give you best practices on what should and shouldn't appear in minutes. And then in our second video, Josh and Robin will cover what board members or owners can do when they object to minutes, and whether they have any recourse in extreme situations. So just a note, our experts are providing insights based on the laws and practices in their state. This video is intended to provide you with general guidance you can use when you approach an expert in your state. So with that in mind, let's jump in. Robin, what are you seeing in Ohio?
Well, as we were discussing a little bit ago, I see a lot of clients bring up and a lot of owners bring up the term transparency, which means they're wanting to see more of a narrative type of board minutes, basically explaining a lot of why the decisions have been made by the board members. And that's not really what we recommend. We recommend that the minutes are actually very brief. There's not a lot in the meeting minutes other than the actions taken by the board, because that's really the main purpose. Minutes of the meeting is, what were or are the actions that were taken by the board at that meeting. So we don't advise that there be really much narrative, if any, added into the minutes. But we recommend that, the board meeting minutes basically have, what type of meeting is it? Is it a special meeting or just a regular meeting? Is it an owner's meeting or a board meeting? Who's attending if it's a board meeting? Who's absent from the board meeting? This the date and time, approval of the prior minutes, actions, again, very skeletal recording of what actions were actually taken by the board, and then what time the meeting adjourned. So our meeting minutes that we recommend are pretty sparse as far as a lot of narrative information. That's what we would recommend to our clients generally.
Josh, what's the rule in Florida?
It's very similar to what Robin mentioned in Ohio. I like to say there was a well-known architect he worked in Chicago. His name was Mies van der Rohe, and his famous phrase was "less is more." And with minutes, less is truly more. It should never be a transcript. It's supposed to be just an outline of the business of the association that took place, which Robin gave the details on. And what associations don't realize is that by having all of these things that they think are juicy and interesting in transcripts, they set themselves up for liability and to be sued, because board members and even property managers who might prepare these minutes are not attorneys. They may phrase things incorrectly. They may set the association up to be sued. They could make defamatory statements, as you mentioned, happened in this incident. It's just never a good idea. meeting minutes are just a record of the bare bones record of what happened at the meeting, whether it's a member meeting or a board meeting. And it should never be a transcript, and it's certainly not a place to settle scores with other owners.
Right, right. Thank you, Josh and Robin, for your quick takes on this topic. And listeners, thanks for joining us. We hope you'll join us again next month.